your seat, light it up, let's unwind. Kevin and Kerr bringing topics of all kinds, from cigars to sports, family and more. Everyday stories you'll want to explore. So take a puff or ponder away. Join the talk, it's the highlight of your day.
I can't hear you.
Puff and ponder where the sparks ignite.
I can't hear you.
Conversations blazing day or night.
Tune
in now, let the stories take flight. It's the Puff and Ponder podcast.
Can you hear me?
Where we get it right.
I can't hear a word you're saying. Anybody listening?
From fast cars to last night's game, family laughs or today's big name. We've got the topics, we've got the vibe. Stay tuned in and enjoy the ride. So lean back, relax, take a break. Kevin and Kerr got the chat you'll appreciate. Puff and Ponder, the show that's great, where conversations ignite. Don't hesitate.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Puff and Ponder podcast, where conversations ignite. Can you hear me now?
I can. I think what happened was there was a delay from when you clicked the opening. And obviously I can't hear you talk when the opening's playing, because when I just clicked on the show, it was still like you and I just hear it, and it just went right to the right.
Oh, it's weird because I can hear you talking during while it was playing.
No, yeah, I can hear a word.
I look down, and then I have a microphone button down below. So if I'd have turned that on, that must be a new feature that we, if we had an extended intro, like we could talk to each other while the intro was playing.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's kind of that's kind of weird. What's going on, everybody? I'm Kevin from Cigar Prop, Kerr Viajante, Stogie Road Cigars. And speaking of cigars, I need a cigar. I've been so looking forward to tonight. I shouldn't even be doing the show tonight. I have work to do, but I haven't enjoyed a cigar since last Wednesday night, Kerr.
Really?
So I am going to smoke. I am lighting up a Romeo y Julieta Reserva Real. Oh God, I love this. I love this cigar. It's so good. Now I love the Midnight Twist better, but it's just same cigar with like a little tiny, like a little tiny barber pole on it, like like a 16th. But I don't know. I think the blend's a little bit different. But I love this Reserva Real.
Nice.
Oh, look at the commish is on, the real commish. Derek Dukes.
I'm smoking a Monarch from the from Honeybee Cigars down in they're actually carry their brand in Bourbon Barn, the Wine and Bourbon Barn.
Hey, commish. Derek Dukes, both of you guys on. You too, Henry G. Go look up Honeybee Cigars on Instagram. I'll that's the girl I'm thinking of, correct, Kerr?
Yeah, she's in Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah.
I'll forgive you guys if you have to click out of this show.
This is a good cigar though, the Monarch. I do like this one.
She's she likes to pose on Instagram.
Listen, I always tell you, man, it's your gig, right? It's your brand, it's your gig. You do whatever you do. You. But yeah, this is a good cigar. They're carrying them down at the Wine and Bourbon Barn here in Simpsonville, South Carolina, and I'm happy to say that they're going to be carrying Sinistro soon. There should be getting Sinistro this week. Yeah.
Right on. Now the Honeybee, that's not the one that was the catalog cigars, right? Or is that a different company? That was a different one we were talking about, right?
I think it was a different one. I think that there's some of the blends kind of look like we got some cigars from her, and they're pretty good. I mean, this one's actually an exceptional cigar. And we got some Candela from her. When I first smoked them, they were really, really grassy, and I did not like them. They were really kind of bitter.
Yeah.
And I kind of let them sit for over a month, and then we revisited them and smoked them. They were pretty good.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. I mean, I was really kind of shocked that they did so well. But so Kevin, I got to ask you, we probably have some great Father's Day stories to tell. from Sunday. How was yours?
I worked all fucking day. That was it.
That's it.
That was it. I was hoping to get out early because the new kid, he's supposed to be like taking over on Sundays for me, but he's been with us for like 2.5 weeks now. He is called out, I think 8 days, or called out and then had off like last week. Like he was off Friday, So I go to the boss and I go, listen, this new kid's been here like 2.5 weeks. This is the second week in a row he's had 3 days off. I've only had 1 day off each week. The boss is like, well, and I go, good talking with you, Mike. Good talking with you. And then I walked away. So, because these fucking kids, it's just like everything's a priority other than work, and then supposedly he had a seizure and he's in a hospital. I don't know about that.
He didn't have the blown engine that got replaced in 12 hours.
No, same kid.
Really?
So I don't know. So, but yeah, so it's and now like I said, and we got one guy supposed to be coming back to work on Thursday because he had back surgery. So he sent it wasn't even workers' comp. He got in a car accident, and now he's got like one of these shady ass attorneys, that convinced him to have some kind of back procedure done, to make it look more convincing, and they'll get more money. But
Jackie Childs.
Yeah, Jackie Child, but you know as well as I do, you never come back from any type of back surgery. You're fucked forever. So
Jen had back surgery and she still has issues to this day.
Yeah, so this kid's fucked forever. So but he texted. I was like to the other text, like, oh, I'll be back Thursday. The doctor gave me I'm on light duty. I can only lift 15 pounds. Like, well, you're not allowed in the building. But I mean, unless you're on workers' comp, then you can, then there's how that go, Kerr. There's light duty for workers' comp. Workers' comp just wants you in that fucking building.
Yeah.
So, but anything else? So he's out for God knows how long. The new kid's out. I don't know when he's coming back. I interviewed another new kid today, and so it'll be a couple weeks before he starts.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It could be the next couple weeks before I get another day off.
So what you're saying is that this guy who has been hired to work on Sundays is really not.
Yeah, he's not working. He's not working at all. And I reiterated to this kid 3 times. This new kid today that I interviewed. I go, I just want you to understand this job sucks. And I go, it's summertime. It's hot out there. And you're going to be doing the grunt work for the next 6 months. I go, you probably won't even touch a car for a month until we can figure out that you know how to work a broom, Right. So, and I told him, I said, if you call in during your first 2 weeks, you're fired. I go, if you have to call in for your first 2 weeks, just don't even call. Just don't show up anymore. So I was so pissed off at these last 2 kids, because the other new kid we hired, he picked up his shit like Friday night or something. So, he was, cause his car supposedly broke down, another kid, like last Monday. And,
you guys got a lot of mechanics working at your place with broken down cars.
I know. So this kid calls and we're like, okay, we'll send an Uber to come pick you up. We're really shorthanded today. Well, no, I really need to figure out this car situation. Well, you work at a shop, tow the car here. We will fix it. Well, yeah, I got things to figure out. So we motherfucked him and he's like, well, I'll just come pick my shit up. Yeah, come pick your shit up.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not accepting an Uber ride to get to work and you're not accepting a tow to the shop and getting it fixed, guarantee you that your vehicle is not damaged. There's not an issue with your vehicle. There's an issue with you.
And this kid's got a newborn. He's probably in his mid to late 20s. Just had a new baby.
You got a new job.
Yeah, it's I don't know. He left his old job because he wasn't getting enough hours. Then he's complaining he wasn't getting enough hours from us. But when you call in 7 or 8 days in your first 3 weeks, that's not really our problem. You're not getting the fucking hours.
I don't know, man. It's weird. It's like companies. I don't know if companies appreciate or see the value in not maybe not all companies. I shouldn't say all companies. It just seems like there is this lack of appreciation of hard work and loyalty and dedication.
Yeah.
You know, it boggles my mind. You know, it's like how they gravitate to certain folks, certain personalities is always beyond my comprehension. Because I learned, my dad taught me, look, you do your job, you work hard, you freaking if you work with a company, you stay loyal to them, et cetera, et cetera. And if they're good to you, and it like that was just kind of the way I was raised. My dad freaking worked for med ed for what after getting out of the Air Force. He did some odds and ends job, but then he worked for Metropolitan Edison for Lord knows how long. And then after he got laid off, he worked at 3 Mile in like 20 some years and retired. You know?
Yeah, yeah. My dad only had 2 jobs growing, from when two main jobs. I said my dad, I sent my dad a message on Sunday, because I was by myself again, and I told my son, I appreciated the example that he set, which made me, the hard worker that I am, because my dad, he had, like I said, a full-time job, and then when times got tough, which they never complained about money. I mean, we weren't like a rich family at all,
No.
by any means at all. There were times my dad, picked up a part-time job, here and there. It's and that's just what he did to make ends meet, make sure his family was had what they needed. And I took that, and there are many times, in my life that I had, multiple jobs. I've, for years, probably 2 years, I slept in my car for an hour or two in between jobs.
Yeah.
Going from an overnight to, an overnight security gig to, working at Tires Plus. I would make sure, I'd get there about, an hour or two, depending on my what I had to do on the security side. And, Robert knew that, once he got the shop opened up, he'd come out, knock on the window, and then I'd get up and go to work. Time to go. Time to go to work.
My dad was the same way. He worked at Med Ed, and my dad was a mechanic, and on the weekends and evenings he worked at his friend's garage.
Yeah.
He even I remember he was telling me he even a friend in the neighborhood had a window washing company. He even did windows one summer, just washing some windows. So it was always, he always had, like you said, his main job, but he always for the longest time growing up, probably up until I was maybe 12, 13, maybe around that age, that he was primarily at 3 Mile Island, but he always had a job as a mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
It boggles my mind,
It does. And
especially the stories you tell me, it makes me go, Jesus.
Yeah, and my daughter's got that work ethic. She's got that, do what it takes. And I mean, she's a nurse, so she's blue collar. And it's yeah, I don't know. My son didn't inherit that, it's for sure. But Graham, luckily
a couple generations, right?
Yeah. The Army taught Graham, the hard work and the work ethic.
Yeah.
But Jessica showed him that as well, being a single mom.
Oh yeah. Jessica busted her ass and had to, I mean, that's just, it is something that is, it's worrisome in many ways. And then you also look at the companies and you wonder how they're making the decisions on, is it just, you don't have any other lack of options, it's, I mean, we could go down that rabbit hole, for hours, with the the way that organizations are, and just the work ethic of individuals. But I've the one thing I've done that is tough is I say it's tough because it's not tough to implement. It's just tough to implement while you're surrounded by yourself, surrounded by folks who, like it's like I said, you work hard, you keep your head down, you get your feedback, you apply your feedback, you do the best that you can do. And when there's others not doing it, or there's other shenanigans going on, it could be very distracting at times, because at some point you're like, what is it that you value? Like, look at you, you work 6 days a week, you've been doing this for how long? You're the best mechanic that they have. And, it's like at some point you got to be like, look, are you interested in retaining me? Because you have done a very sloppy job. And I say sloppy and not shitty. You've done a very poor job of trying to find someone to give me an extra day off, which would make me more productive. But you seem to be perfectly fine hopping on my fucking back and whipping the shit out of me until what? The fucking wheels fall off? Then what are you going to do? Is that really how you treat your best employee?
That's it, and we're only allowed, like, every store is only allowed so many, A techs, B techs, C techs, maintenance techs, so if we have like an underperforming tech, like, like, we're not allowed to fire them. We're not allowed to fire anybody because turnover looks bad, but we can't start looking for someone else because we don't have an open position because we have an asshole, so it's a snake chasing its tail the whole fucking time, and it just, we can't just cut these kids loose, or anybody, whenever we want, and that's maybe we'll try them at another store, or maybe we'll have a talk with them again. Oh, again, let's write them up for the 15th time, because they know nothing's going to happen to them, and they know we're shorthanded, so they can do whatever the fuck they want. So it doesn't make any difference. So it is what it is. So you just you stick them over in a corner and be like, hey, you just sit in that chair all day. We're just going to pay you. Trying to fuck anything up over in this corner, and then that's what we do.
Well, having a family will teach you one thing, and if that kid, if he doesn't some people don't get it, and it is, you wake up in the morning, you'd like to exactly tell folks what you think, but having a family and having kids teaches you to have an acquired taste for shit sandwiches, because you have to eat one at least daily.
Yeah.
You have to. There's times you just got to keep your mouth shut. There's just time you just got to tolerate things. Just sometimes you just got to kind of keep your head down and let things go by without freaking pointing out the obvious. Because if you don't, then you decide to be that person, then the next thing you know, freaking, you're out looking for a job, for a new job. And you're like, kids, I used to laugh at my buddy, and I would always, crack jokes because, we drive down and there'd be some jerk face, some running their mouth. And I'm like, there's so many people that I've met over the years that just really should probably send my kids thank you cards because they're in my life. Because if it wasn't for my children, I probably would have punched you. I probably would have kicked your ass. I probably would have told you that. I would probably would have told you exactly what I thought, of you. But that's the sacrifice that you make, when you have a family, is that you have to eat shit sandwiches. That's just the way it is.
It is. Yeah. Like, definitely my family's kept me from, and sometimes I get a little lippy with people, especially, customers, not too often, but especially now, like I said, it's hot outside. We're sweating. I'm overworked.
Yeah.
I'm tired. And it's all gonna culminate into me punching someone, or my daughter was saying, she's like, or it's gonna come out, you're gonna hurt yourself,
or you're just gonna be like, I'm done. You're gonna pack your shit. You're gonna be like, I'll send a truck to pick up my freaking tools. I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's what mechanics say. There's a reason why our toolbox have wheels. So, but it'll end up being, I'll get hurt. I'll get careless. There are times on my way home that I've had to like just pull over for a second. You know, I mean, it's a 20-minute drive, and it's just like you feel yourself nodding off for a second. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, just pull off real quick and, you know, shake it off. And it's just something's got to give eventually.
You got to, you got to create. I was talking to a friend about this because, I work from home, and I know that Joseph Seymour Butts said that it's been that way since 2020. And I think working from home has definitely had an impact on the workforce. But working from home doesn't necessarily, everybody thinks, oh, you work from home. Like, oh, look, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to watch some freaking HBO, maybe play some video games, or smoke some cigars. And I'm going to have, working from home, there isn't a freaking office you go to and you just freaking punch in and punch out. So you can get wrapped around the axle of burning the candle at multiple ends. And there have been times, you can ask Jennifer, where I've sat at my chair at 6 a.m. and I didn't get up till 10. And I had her bring food to me, sitting there at the table. And I was telling her, I said, you have to set boundaries because you have to keep yourself healthy. I've been able to do that for my morning routine. And then even after work, like my after work and my weekend routine too, because my weekends, I wake up before anybody else on Saturday. I sit down, I do a couple hours of work. Same thing on Sunday. And I found that, I was like, I looked at my hours that I was logging in and I looked at the hours that I wasn't logging in. I was like, holy shit, does anybody really see this or appreciate that? Again, that's neither here nor there. What's more important is that that's my work ethic and my work style. But then I had to make a decision on my own health, and my family has to come first. So I have my morning routine, and I have my guardrails. There's going to be times where I work later, and there's going to be times where I start a little bit early. Like tomorrow, I'll start a little bit early because I have some people I work with, over in Europe. And, they're like, hey, how's 1 o'clock? I'm like, 6 o'clock for me, but that works. I mean, there's times you're going to have that shit. You're going to have to do it. And I'm cool with that. And I do that from time to time. That's not my normal routine anymore. That was. And, it's just working from home. Everyone just thinks it's a real easy freaking, like, you have all the free time in the world. And there's times, like I said, I'll sit here and I won't move. I mean, I have my freaking pacer on my phone. It'll freaking be like, hey, are you still alive? Like, have you even done anything besides walk down the steps, make coffee, and walk to your fucking desk? So
and Jessica, she works from home as well, and luckily for her, being on the social media side, social media manager. If she's got to go to the grocery store, she can. If she's got to go to, take the kids somewhere, she can. But also when her boss calls her up or sends her a text at 11:30 at night, if she's awake, she's got to go to work. It may only be 10 or 15 minutes, but it's still, 11 o'clock at night.
Still got to get up. Still got to get out.
Got to get up. That email's got to go get corrected, or that post has to be fixed, or something's got to be done. And so she has a little bit of leeway, but same thing. It's not, she smokes those little tiny, cigarillos, only because she doesn't get time during the day. She can't just smoke a cigar all day and fuck around. She smokes those because they're 15 minutes. She'll come out to the lounge, kick back, smoke that, watch a little TikTok for 15 minutes, and then go back inside, go back to work.
And I smoke throughout the day, but it's like you can tell like when you're on the same cigar like all morning, just because it's been busy, lots of meetings. You can't sit there and freaking smoke a cigar while you're having a meeting.
I've been there like on a Sunday or something. You get up, I'm like, I'm gonna have some breakfast, gonna have a cigar. By the time lunch comes around, you're still on that same cigar. You've lit it 15 times already, 20 times. And you're only halfway done with it. So
but if you're outside or near humidity, now it's all soggy. You're like,
oh yeah, no, I don't. And I haven't been smoking very much at all the last week. Like I said, Jessica left Thursday night, for Washington D.C. to go see Graham. It's been 2 years since she's seen him. So little mother son time. So she's been having fun. But yeah, so when I got home Thursday, I had stuff that I had my two new 3D printers were here. So now I got 7 up and running, but I had to clear out office space to get those. And that Thursday night, I didn't get my first cigar until like 10 o'clock at night. And then every night it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock before I got my first cigar. And I wasn't able to enjoy one at all.
No, God,
I just
my
smoke
body
one
shuts down at that point.
Yeah. Smoke one, take a picture, throw it on the gram. And then, and then my only free night was Saturday night. And it was just a Thursday, Friday of being up till 11:30, 12 o'clock, just after working all day, just busting my hump. I just couldn't do it Saturday night. I'm like, listen, told Gabby, I'm gonna stop, pick us up some tacos, and then I'm just gonna relax. Well, that's it. Picked us up some tacos, had a cocktail, had a cigar, and then went and watched the new Jack Black movie Anaconda, which was fucking amazing. So
it was interesting.
It was the best movie of the year.
I would not say that. I would say it was interesting the way they tied in the original Anaconda.
Yeah.
I did like that. I was surprisingly, I liked it probably more than I thought I would, and probably more than I should have.
Yeah.
Jack Black kind of works on my nerves after a while.
Yeah.
But
so Kevin, I did get your message. Thank you very much. Yeah. So it was So I watched the movie, and then move my mouse. And then last night it was Sunday night. It was I thought I would have a nice easy night because I thought I had Monday off, and then that fucking shit to bed. So I was up last night till 11:30, finally finishing everything, every project. The lounge is clean and spotless. The garage is clean and spotless. So I've got nothing else to do. Even Wyatt was up until 10:30 last night, packaging bleed tools for me, because they had to go out to Amazon.
Nice.
So he was up, and I told him, I said, because he didn't start on it until late, and I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy. I need to have these done, and you give him a project, and he is on it, and it's put this into this package, add a keychain attachment, close it, put a sticker on it. One by one, everything is done perfectly. All the stickers are straight. All the keychains are facing the same way, even though it does not make a difference which way the keychain is facing, because it's going to get jumbled up. But
it makes a difference to him.
It makes a difference to him. So, and then while I was at work today, I asked Gabby, I go, you just got to put the UPC codes on there. Yeah. And and then she went to work today. She, her job, she only works, 2 hours a day at that one. So she did that, and then she came home and she did all the barcodes for me. So all I had to do was box them up today and take them to UPS tomorrow. Nice. And she's been doing good. She's been making sure that the sink is clean all week. When this is the first time, so it's been many days now that I've gone to bed and there has not been dishes in the sink, Kerr. You know how nice that is?
Yeah. We've a lot of cooking has been going over in this house for the last 24 hours. So
yeah,
it's been and usually I'm pretty good at, like you said, working from home. Like I'll go in, and if I have like a 15-minute break and I go and use the bathroom, I'll empty the dishwasher, and then I'll come back. Then I'm going to fill it. But today was just freaking busy from the moment I freaking sat down to the moment I stood up. But yeah, a lot of cooking went on this weekend. Jenna almost burned down the house.
Oh, what happened?
Well, we got a couple of great stories this weekend. So I'll start by talking about how Jennifer bought the screen to hang from it, to keep the bugs out, right?
On your garage door, like the whole length.
The whole length.
Like what kind is it? The one that goes in the tracks and rolls up? What kind of screen is it?
You have to mount. You have to drill in all the mounts, and then you attach the track, and then it almost like Venetian blinds. It has those clips, and then it clips in. It's actually very heavy duty, well done, great quality. It's only $75, right, for a double garage. So
is it roll up, or how's it?
No, it opens.
So has it got like the magnetic closures in the middle?
Magnetic, and they're freaking strong magnet. I mean,
okay.
It sticks to the garage door if you don't freaking, properly, do what you got to do with it.
Oh, okay, so the dog's not getting out.
No. The dog she walks over. She's afraid. But so what you have to do is they have these brackets, right? And you drill into brackets all the way across. They have to be so many inches apart from each other, right, to make it even. And then there's this long track that you have to it's all coiled up that you got to straighten out, and then it snaps in. So I drill in all these holes. I drill in all these brackets, rather. And I wish I had one with me right now. And but Jennifer's like, you have to you have to put the cap on. I go, Jen, and you being with Jessica, you know how that Jersey persistence, like I'm fucking right. I go, Jen, we got to put. She goes, the caps need to go on first. You got to put the caps on, and I'm like, Jen, she goes, you got to put the caps on. So I walked over to the end and I went, and then she looked at me. I go, the track's not even on. What am I going to put a cap on? You got to have the track on, and then after you put the track on, you put the caps on. She's yelling at me to put this cap on the freaking track, and the track's not even up there yet. And every time I'm trying to tell her that the track's not on, she don't want to listen to me. So I just freaking held it up and dropped it. It fell to the ground, and then she just looked up and she started laughing. And she goes, we need a track first, don't we? I'm like, yeah, that's the way it works. What am I going to cap? I'm going to cap nothing. I'll put a cap in your ass. So after we got the track up, we actually got the netting up, and it's great. It really is. It's very thick. And I mean, there's inserts you can put in your garage that look like front porches, with doors and everything. They're like $1,000, $1,500. But this was $75. It has Velcro that goes down the side, so the sides are freaking are secure. The magnetic clip, and I've seen some that were really shitty, really poor quality. Weighted at the bottom, it works great. So that was our weekend. That was one day of the weekend.
Yeah, we put the retractables on the French doors, and then the two doors coming into the lounge, because in the wintertime we like to have the doors open, but then the dogs get out, so it's almost just like a retractable baby gate, but it's a screen. So you just pull it out and then you latch it to the other side, you know, and it makes it nice. Dogs can stay in, they can still see outside. You know, thick heavy dude.
Crib comes out. She's freaking not. It's like, when you tie a horse's freaking reins to a freaking bush, they think that they're freaking, that they can't move. They realize all they got to do is take 3 steps and go fucking yank the bush out.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's in here. So that was really good. And then Jen's mom, dad and stepmom came over. We're all hanging out in the kitchen, and Jen's out there grilling, and she took the shrimp out. And she opens the door. She's like, close the door. And I went, what? Did she just say? And I'm yelling, what? And I can't see her. And her dad goes, I think she said she needs help. I'll take care of it. So he goes walking out. And I go walking out, and there's flames like coming off the grill. And there's flames shooting out the bottom of the grill. And I open the door, and I hear, she's standing there like with these tongs, and he's going, I had the same thing happen to me this one time. And he's like telling her a story, and I'm like, I don't think that's the help she wanted.
Oh my God.
Storytelling time. So I go over, and I'm like, taking the shrimp off the bobby. And she goes, the propane tank's gonna blow up. The flames are shooting down. And I'm like, okay,
that's fine.
I gotta turn off the propane tank. Well, what happens is our grill is angled, and then there's a drip, pan at the bottom, very small one. For all those who are watching, you must empty that and clean that from time to time. If you do not, and there's oil there and it catches fire, it's like having this freaking tray of like an oil lamp
Yeah, that's because an oil lamp. There's no just dumping water on it to pour it out.
No, so I reach my hand in like the Temple of Doom. I'm trying to unscrew. I'm trying to tighten up the propane tank, and flames are shooting down on my hands. I'm all singed up, and then I'm just taking everything off. And then Jen goes, "Should I get some baking powder?" I'm like, "Yes." And she came out. We sprinkled some baking powder because, like you said, you don't want to put water on there. That will just. So baking powder, everything was fine. And then I took out the tray. I'm like, "Oh, here's the culprit." This freaking tray was like right at the very top, like spilled off the edges.
Yeah.
I'm like, especially in this heat, it's not like it's cold out. This is all watery. So I emptied it out. And then I went over to the hose and I cleaned it out really good and put it back in. But when I went out, the flames were pretty high. The flames were shooting down low, and her dad was telling her a story on how he experienced the exact same thing while she's trying to freaking get everything off the grill. So but the shrimp were cooked. I ate a couple and I was like, nah, they were just charred beyond recognition. But she made the best freaking food yesterday. I prefer pork over steak. So she made my pork chops, and she did something with these fillets where she like put coarse salt on them. She dried them out, something like that. I don't know what the hell. She'd have to freaking tell you what she did. And then she made her. You know how you say how Jessica makes her pasta sauce. With just tomatoes, crushes, tomatoes. Yeah. She grilled tomatoes, got them all smoky, freaking peppers, crushed them, garlic, basil, and made a sauce that way. Dude, one of the most refreshing, I like pasta. I like spaghetti sauce, but spaghetti sauce can be very, very heavy, especially when it's meaty. This was so fucking refreshing. The steak melted in your mouth. The pork was on point, and she made salmon as well because Wyatt is a salmon lover, as am I. I love seafood. Everything yesterday that she made was fantastic, except for that shrimp that she freaking fried.
Yeah, Jessica read a story once where someone got trichinosis from pork in like 1970s. So we're not allowed to have pork in the house, so we don't eat pork.
Yeah, hell, they serve pork now. Before it was always you had to get it. You always had to cook it. Cook it all the way through. Yeah. Well done. Now you don't have to. You can get pork cooked, and I
like a good pork loin. I'm not a big pork chop fan. I'll eat a pork chop like if it's somewhere smoked whatever. But I'm a pork loin fan. But yeah, we don't eat pork in the house because of trichinosis. That's
1937.
Yeah, I know that one person that got it. So now we're not allowed to eat pork.
Yeah, whenever Jen makes steak for herself, she always makes me pork because I prefer pork over beef. But her the steaks were fantastic. Yeah, she makes pork loin, pork, everything, because it's the other white meat. It is definitely my go-to, and I'll even order when we go out. She'll order a fillet or something if they have like a really good pork chop and they have some really good sides. And I know that this is a really nice restaurant and they do a fine job of cooking their foods. I'll order that and I'm like, God dang, man, that is just one of the best pieces of pork. So, but yeah, she had a really big meal set up yesterday. She did a great job of just. I have so much leftover food there. And like tonight, I had some. I don't like I like pasta. My least favorite are rigatonis. So she got the short rigs, but in this sauce, I made myself some pasta and freaking with the sauce and ate it. It was delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I had Taco Bell, and then I've been wanting some tuna croquettes, which I'm not allowed to make because Jessica hates the smell of tuna. So in the house, so I love making like frying up some tuna croquettes. Oh, they're so good, but I haven't had any because I've just been eating like a fucking heathen, since she left. Just whatever, some frozen burrito. Taco Bell, some frozen burritos. I made some hot dogs tonight. It's just been hadn't been able to sit down and eat, just fucking working every night. At least I don't have any big projects left. She doesn't come home till Thursday, but I got to start assembling some bleed tools. I got 1,000 of those to fucking make. And it's just yeah. So
that was my weekend. That was my Father's Day. It was great. Why Jennifer got me a 15-year-old Glenfiddich Scotch. Had my first Jen's dad had a cigar with me, and he had he never had Scotch before. It's the first time he ever had Scotch in his 80 years. So we had a nice Scotch together, and I take the. I told you before. I infuse my bourbon with peppercorns, black peppercorns and white peppercorns, and she has that peanut butter tequila, and I made my own drink. I took, because then I infused this other bourbon with these they're sugary coating, but they're very fucking hot, spicy pecans. So I took about a half a shot of it, half a shot of the pepper bourbon, and then about half a shot of the peanut butter tequila, and then 2 dashes of bitters. And God, it tasted like spicy peanut butter.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was
fucking good. I'm such a snob when it comes to fucking what I drink. I like what I drink, and people, I was at my doctor's house, with a cigar rep, and he has this, he lives in a multi-million-dollar home right on the water, like one of these infinity pools that go into the bay. And,
right.
And then I'm like, you got any Bacardi? He's like, no. And I'm like, he had like these beers and everything else. I'm like, I'll have a water. And this rep was looking, he's like, oh my God, is that such and such, like Japanese whiskey or something? And he's like, yeah. He goes, it's been up there for like a year. I haven't even cracked the bottle yet. I guess it's like one of these $1,000 bottles, Japanese whiskey or whatever. And he's like, no, I'll have like down below. And he's like, do you want that? I'll get that for you. He's like, you can have some. I don't care. You don't care what, it's all, you're in his house, just everything is, it's up, and they're like, you really should try this. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I have my water. Like the only time I'll ever get to try it, but then I've been to other places, Corona Cigar up in Tampa, like the Bourbon Club, like they meet, like it's such a big club up there. Like now reps come in, like just for like the Bourbon Club meeting of all the guys. Yeah. Now reps come in for each meeting and like give them, and I'm like, what? And so I go up there and I drink my Bacardi and diet while they're sampling, like all these like bourbons and rare bourbons and everything else. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Yeah,
that's not snobby. That's just knowing what you like and not deviating from it. It's actually the opposite of being snobby. I had for the first time in a long time the other day, we went over to Boda Cigars, check out Rex and Johnny and the guys over there. And I had some Yuengling lager. I had a couple of lagers. I haven't had beer in the longest time.
I haven't had beer in a long time as well.
I told Jennifer, I said, this is going to be my new Freever sign. It's like, it's not hot. It's beer hot. Like, it's the only freaking thing that'll quench your thirst. I've been thirsty for beer ever since. But yeah, I had a couple of lagers, and they just went down too fast and too smooth. And I'm like, God almighty, I'm not 27 anymore.
Yeah.
I can't, if I sit there, I'll drink freaking all these lagers, forget about it. But, it's, I haven't had, I would keep Miller Lite in the house here, or whatever, a couple beers here and there. We get in, we have a party. Hell, we had, that Heineken keg, the little metal keg that we had. Yeah. We had that for a party here. It was here forever. Yeah. It was like for forever, because I don't, I just don't really.
Yeah, I'm not a big beer guy. If I'm gonna go somewhere, if I want something like refreshing, but I don't want like a Bacardi and diet because it's like 11 a.m. or something. I like a good cider, like a Magners, like a pear cider or something.
What's wrong with rum and Bacardi at 11 a.m.?
Yeah, it's a little early unless you're golfing or something. It's a little,
Yeah, come on.
It's noon. Noon's my cutoff. Anything after noon you can drink. Anything before noon.
Well, it's noon somewhere, Kevin.
Yeah. I don't drink before noon. You know,
I spent one too many mornings of doing Bloody Marys at the Bloody Mary bar, like 7, 8 in the morning.
Rough.
I used to drink a lot of beer, and it's just, when I started doing my diet, the fasting and stuff, it was just empty calories.
Yeah.
If I sit there and I drink even Miller Lite, and for some reason, Miller Lite just started disagreeing with me. Get me very gassy, very bloated, rather. It's just if I'm going to sit down and drink a couple beers, it's just empty calories, and I'd rather have a bourbon or two. I know there's still calories in bourbon, I get it, but still, I'd rather have a bourbon or a scotch. Or the one beer I will drink when Jennifer gets it for me is I will drink Guinness. I will, if you have Guinness around, I will drink a Guinness. Or I'll try and make my own black and tans and fuck those up along the way. But really, that's really what I've been drinking primarily. But we haven't had beer in the house in ages. I probably have my refrigerator in there. I probably have like 15 different types of drinks that Jennifer has purchased over the last several months to a year, thinking that she's gonna like it, and then she drinks like freaking 3 sips and pours it out.
Yeah.
So I have like Rolling Rock, every single effing flavor of apple, berry, this, that, the other thing. We got White Claw in there. It's nothing. She don't like any of it. And she buys the bottle of peanut butter tequila because she loved it for the taste. And then when I start drinking, she's like, "Why are you drinking? Why are you drinking my tequila?" Because no one else is going to. And then when we were out west, she got this pink lemonade type vodka, and it's fucking good. And she's like, don't, you can't drink any more of that. I'm like, it's just gonna sit there, and I'm just gonna stare at it. It needs to be consumed.
Yeah,
that's its purpose. It's like a cigar. The cigar's purpose is to be smoked.
I used to drink a lot of Tika vodka, and it was sweet tea vodka. Like, I was dangerously addicted to that 20 years ago. It was so good.
That sounds good. I went through phases. I had Long Island iced teas.
Yeah,
that's another phase I went through.
Yeah, once I learned how to make them when I at the bar, because I would never, because I could never get them right. But once I figured out like the ratio of those, and then it's like, fuck, like those were, and then it got to the point to where, that's one reason why I had to quit doing bar, where, I could drink 6, 7 Long Island iced teas in a shift and nothing. I could drink 15, 20 Bacardi and diets, nothing. People couldn't even do, and not slurring, not stumbling, like just nothing. And it was just like, this is dangerous. Like, I mean, to consuming this much alcohol every fucking night and not have any ill effects on it, you know. And it's like, I gotta stop doing. Yeah.
Long Island iced teas they'll sneak if you're not used to them, they'll sneak up on you, man.
Oh yeah, it can.
You up. I mean, because it's all liquor.
It's all liquor. Just a splash of Coke at the end for
a little bit of orange juice, right? A little bit of orange juice and a little bit of Coke, a splash of Coke to make it look like tea.
Yeah, some people don't. Some people use orange juice. I don't think I ever used orange juice. My key was always don't serve it with a straw, and rim the glass in a lemon wedge. So when you drink it, you get that lemon. So it tasted like a lemon iced tea, so that the lemon was the first thing that hit your.
You put a straw in there; those are gone in like a minute.
Oh, I know, but yeah, just a Southern Comfort. Good. That was good Long Island iced tea needs some SoCo.
Oh, I didn't know. I never put SoCo on mine.
Yeah, I always put
It's all clear vodka. I mean, all clear liquors.
No, half clears, half darks.
It's been a minute since I made one. It's vodka, tequila, rum, right?
Yeah, and then usually, depending on which one you make it could either be 3 clears or 4 clears, and then an equal amounts of dark. So it's lights and darks. is the way I was always taught. And then Southern Comfort was always one of my darks.
Really? I never, ever. It's main alcohol: vodka, tequila, gin.
Oh, I never made gin.
Vodka, tequila, gin, rum, and triple sec.
Yeah, triple sec. I remember triple sec now. Yeah, we would do lights and darks.
And I think triple sec is where, if you don't have triple sec, that's where you can splash some orange juice in there.
Yeah, that must be because I don't remember ever using orange juice. So it was a triple sec. But then, like I said, then I would use Southern Comfort.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So,
God, that's interesting. Yeah. Vodka, tequila, white rum, triple sec gin, and a splash of cola for the color.
Yeah.
And if you get tequila, I mean, you get clear tequila. That is all clear, clear liquors.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you, we used to drink them Tuesday night at the Summer House down in Rehoboth Beach. Man, they were $2 or $3 Long Island iced teas or something like that. They were a 16-ounce cup, and you go there with $20,
getting wrecked.
Good night, Irene. You're done.
Yeah.
I mean, it was it was. I was living in Pittsburgh, and I was drinking a lot of those. You know, it's a really good drink too, believe it or not, but it's a little too citrusy for me now. Are zombies? You ever have those?
No.
It's kind of like a Long Island iced tea. But it's, if I remember, they used to serve them at the one Japanese restaurant we used to go to. It's rum, brandy, apricot. It's 1 apricot brandy, 1 part dark rum, and then let's see if that's right. But what the hell do I know? Ingredients: Jamaican dark rum, Puerto Rican gold rum, Demora rum, fresh lime juice, and then you do some grapefruit juice mix, and then grenadine, and just a little bit of bitters.
That Jamaican rum, though, man. Like I said, it was my neighbors are Jamaican, and that's where they're originally from. But they'll bring over that. I can't remember the name of that Jamaican rum. It's too much. It's too fucking strong, man.
Too strong.
Yeah, it's too strong. It's like something Suns and something. I don't know, but it's too much. It's way too strong. But I'm not a dark rum,
right
drinker. Yeah.
J. Ray nephew.
Yes, yeah, the nephew. Yeah, that's what I always remember. The nephew.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's I'll tell you, I had the bottle over there somewhere, but I found this from Santa, I think Santa Maria rum, and it was like it's $20 for a bottle.
Yeah.
Smooth as can be, but they actually have they're well known. It's they have their higher end rums that are more expensive, and I'm like, well, I wouldn't mind trying them, but that $20 bottle of rum, it's the only rum that I've had that I could just pour it over ice and drink it.
Yeah.
If I put in any other Diet Coke or anything, it's just too sweet for me. I can't do rum and Cokes. This just, boom. It is smooth. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it. But I sat here one night, I was telling you, I was drinking it, and I was like, man, this rum's smooth. I was like, man, this was a really good selection. And then I stood up and I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
I have one too many of those bad boys.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when in Cuba, I'm not a big fan of their the Cuban rum, but the Cuba Libres over there, I don't know. It's always when you're on vacation, especially when you're on vacation on a tropical island. Boy, those were so good. Those were, and I don't drink dark rum, but I drink dark rum down there. But yeah, it was good. You see, they're starting to. I think everything's starting to collapse. They're actually starting to allow more private enterprise, trying to get more businesses to come in. Opening it up to where like foreign companies can now own businesses and not be, needled by the government. But I think they're afraid. I think we're afraid we're going to come over there and get them. We're going to snatch up Raul Castro, just like we did Maduro.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'd really like to know what the end results of some of this shit's going to be. I know there's a lot of bad actors, especially with what's going on in Iran, and I know that there's an end result. I'm just kind of curious on what it's going to be because I think we're only being shown. And when I say that, I'm not talking about the freaking media that I swear to
Yeah.
God, I do think some of and this isn't a Republican talking. This is just a freaking or conservative talking. This is an observant individual talking. It really seems like some of these news uh, uh, these news media um, really want us to lose. It really it's like
yeah.
they're just so happy and so quick to want to like announce bad news and just spin this and spin that. And I'm sitting there thinking, you really dislike the guy that much that you're really kind of pulling for the Iranians on this. And I think that the reasons why and what we're being told and what we're seeing, I think it's only a part of it. I think there is a long-term plan. I'm just curious on what it is because, generally speaking, there are some folks and there are some countries where, you just can't rationalize anything with them, no matter what, especially when you have a very specific goal, and the way that you are, whether it's deep seated in what you were taught or your religious belief.
I'm beginning to think BB wants us to lose if he doesn't stop his shit, which we're not allowed to mention that country because we'll get fucking the video taken down because God forbid you say anything bad about them. But I think Trump's a little pissed off at him, the whole Lebanon thing, and like he needs he's about to make an enemy if he doesn't stop fucking around.
Well, it's funny. It's I kind of, it's I think from our perspective, it's really easy to be critical of things as it is.
Exactly, because we're we don't have the inner workings. We don't know what's going on the ground.
And you also, I mean, you got to think about a people that were almost annihilated and erased from the face of the earth. And then when they were given this land and they were given their own country, they're surrounded by everybody who wants to kill them. And they're under a constant attack for the last several decades of wars. There's suicide bombers. There's lobbing freaking, missiles. It's this. And it's like after a while, if someone daily just walked by and just fucking slapped you in the face, Kevin, after a while, you're going to be like, motherfucker, everybody in my vision is getting knocked out.
Yeah.
And because it's like no matter how many times you hear things are going to be, it's going to be peace, it's going to be peace, it's going to be peace, you realize that that's just all talk. Because if you got someone in the White House that is a friend of yours, as they used to, as Putin said too, he goes, I just gotta last 4 years or 8 years. I just gotta wait him out.
Yeah.
Because that is what's going to happen is, especially with our country, you get so sick and tired of one political party that you kind of go waxing and waning and waxing and waning. And it's like, well, yeah, these next 4 years, I may have an ally and, if someone, messes with us, we can get some help. What happens at the end when, Trump's done with his term and someone else comes in and they're not so friendly with us or not so easy to give us stuff. So it's like, your foreign policy, our foreign policy is different. You got to think about their foreign policy as they look at our country and they're like, well, shit, we're changing our foreign policy every 4 to 8 years.
Yeah.
And that's not only include the president, that's, also better, the understanding our Congress. So, I mean, I don't be in any country that is an ally or even an enemy of our country. It is like, it is literally like that jumbotron where they show one person and they cheer and they show the next person they boo. It's like their policy is ever changing, very much like that jumbotron jumping from a
Yeah,
home team to the visiting team.
yeah, yeah. I was watching the video, and I think it's like the new, UK is getting another prime minister. It seems like every 6 weeks they're getting a new one now. The new, I don't know if it's the new guy. I started listening to a little bit of a speech he was giving about. He goes, he wants to make Ukraine or make the UK great again. That's what he goes. He goes, you may not like us, but you will respect us. He goes, we've got to do what that Trump has done, and we've got to secure our borders. We got to kick out the people that don't, that aren't here legally, and we got to focus on, cutting waste, cutting spending, and and he goes, and make the UK great again. And I'm
Make
like,
the UK great again. Oof.
And he's got a lot of support because their law, two friends of mine in Canada sent me videos of two I don't know what they're, newscasters or whatever they were in Canada, and they're starting a census because their prime minister used to be the head of the like Bank of England or whatnot. So it's something that's going on in England now. So Canada is taking a census of all the empty rooms you have in your house, and they want to know how many rooms you have empty in your house to see if you have underutilized space. Because in England or the UK, you're taxed at a different tax rate if you have too many empty rooms. So, and it's it was just, if you have like one empty room in your house or two empty rooms, your tax rate goes up. And it was it's super strange, and I didn't look into dive into like the whole UK thing, and that's what they're wanting to do in Canada. So they're starting to take they want to start taking some condos, and that people maybe have like a second place and they're not living there. They want to take it away and giving it to people that may not have a place. And then they don't know if they want, hey, you have two empty rooms in your house. Well, you can either pay the higher tax, or we're going to send this family in. They're going to live with you now.
What?
And that's what they haven't come out and said that. All they're saying right now is they're just taking a census. It's not for any statistical purpose. They just want to know, how much, how many houses are being like underutilized. And people are like, this is fucked up. The Canadians they are pissed. It's like, listen, this is my house. I want to build a 4-bedroom house for, and then when my kids move away or go off to college, it's we have extra rooms in the house. Now we have we have a game room, we have a study, we have a den, it's but yeah, I guess it's a thing in the UK. You're if you have extra room, you pay higher taxes.
Wow. No.
So like I said, I haven't dived deep into it and looked at all the specifics of that. And I'm like, man, that's fucked up. But yeah, they both said like, we want to come live with you guys, as in America. We want to come live with you guys. It's getting bad up here. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's they're sitting here talking about how this is gonna be, there's like you said, a lot of government protests and boycotts. There's a huge issue with being intrusive and privacy fears. The threat of legal penalties under their Federal Statistics Act. Failure to complete the census in is a legal offense, and can result up into fines of $500 or criminal charges.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're saying that the immigration and data blunders, the past census data has faced scrutiny, notably in 2021, when it acknowledged it missed roughly 38% of non-permanent residents. Critics have used this discrepancy to argue that faulty population metrics lead to flawed housing, healthcare, and immigration forecasts. I mean, yeah, especially when you have healthcare. When you got healthcare like they got, that can really jack your numbers up.
Yeah, when you got shit healthcare, but yeah, it's Yeah, it's you're starting to see the pushback. You see in the marches in the UK. The one march where the government said it was only like 100,000 people, and people were like, and they're like doing the math, and then they're like, something the groups are like, we had 1 million people, and the speaker's like, well, it wasn't 1 million people, but it was a fuck ton more than 100,000 from what the government says. So and then Ireland, and for the last few years, people have been, oh, look at the United States kicking people out, rounding people up. How could they? Now you're starting to see it. The rest of the world is starting to come around, and you're starting to see, listen, there's good immigration, and there's just we just can't let everybody in and do whatever they want and cross whatever borders they want, because bad things are going to happen. It's going to put a strain, in Ireland. It's the housing, that's the, that's the big one there. It's just like they don't have affordable housing now for the residents, so that's a big sticking point in there. And then in the UK, it's, it just, the illegals taking over,
That's two of the greatest
area.
That's two of the things that makes our country great. I think two of many things, but I mean, one is our freedom of speech, and it's the freedom. It's not the freedom to protect what I'm saying; is to protect the shit that I disagree with. That's what freedom is.
Yeah.
You have to fight vehemently for not only what you believe in and what you stand for, and your right to say it, but you're also fighting for it. You're all about fighting for the person who's standing across from you, who's yelling and being just as argumentative about their point that you disagree with. And we are a country that we are an inviting country of proper immigration. I mean, it's one of the greatest things about our country is that we are a melting pot. We always have been. I think the one area that has two areas in that has really kind of hurt is the illegal immigration, and then also is trying to bring over your way of, if your culture, it's fine, but trying to impose that onto American values. I don't think that you're a bad person for being against that. I think there's a reason why. I mean, every country is very much like that. They talk about nationalism, how bad it is. I'm like, have you seen the World Cup? Do you really think like all these people running around screaming about freaking their country and celebrating, and they are very, individuals from other countries are very proud of their country, and they have that nationalist feel to it. There's no reason why we should feel guilty because we have that here. You know, every country has a marred history. Every country has things about their history that is not pleasant, and it's not looking back and being overly judgmental of it. It's looking forward and saying, okay, how do we avoid that from happening again, and be proud of the country that you live in. And I think those are areas where we've been kind of people become salty because you're maybe a little bit proud to live in America. And it's, unless you're freaking Rosie O'Donnell or you're freaking Richard Gere, or you're somebody who's got FU money, that when they go, I'm leaving America. Well, listen, it's different. You leaving America is different than if Jennifer and I decide that we're going to leave America.
Yeah.
You leave America, you're going to buy a freaking multi-million-dollar mansion on the French Riviera, or you're going to go live in Spain somewhere, and you're going to have enough money. You're not going to have to worry about a thing. Relocating to another country and being somebody like you or me or anybody else, you just can't just plop into their society and be like, okay, I want to start working. Oh, doesn't work that way. Well, in America, well, yeah, you're not America anymore, Bucko. You're these very, very, very strict laws are completely different from what you're accustomed to. So yeah, whenever these people who are multimillionaires, these famous folks, every time they say they want to leave, and you're going to lead the charge, you're going to lead the big wave of folks leaving the country, then go buy a town and house everybody, because it's different when Johnny Depp goes and lives in France, or if Richard Gere lives in Spain, or if Rosie O'Donnell lives in Ireland. It's different than if Kevin and Kerr decided they're just going to leave and we're going to go to freaking Germany and live.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's a and I think one of the issues with like the UK that people have, I think it's colonialism guilt. You know, it's a oh, you know, we spent a couple hundred years, you know, stealing everything from every country and then claiming, you know, planting our flag. You know, hey, we you know, sorry about that. You know, so now we're gonna, you know, let everybody in and you know.
But I guarantee you, every country, almost, I won't say every country, but I guarantee you, during those times, almost every country would have done the same thing if they were able.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what they did. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it was. I mean, it's not new. It's not specific. It's just, you know, it's like I said. It's you look at the history. You're like, man, every country has one. And you know, the best thing, the only thing you can do, the right thing to do is look at it and go, okay, what was wrong? You know, we can't erase it, because when you start erasing things and you start removing it, that's where you are destined to repeat it, because now you don't have a measuring stick of what was wrong.
Yeah, it's it. And yeah, so you have to leave the US, Care, and you can't take anything with you. You're going by yourself, you know, no family. You got to leave. What country are you going to? Where are you picking?
Vermont. No.
Yeah.
That's a question. What country do I go to? Poland.
Yeah, women are super hot in Poland.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking the super hot Polish girls.
Oh,
You know, I'd go to Poland. I mean,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, you know, I think they're very much like, you know, you've seen the different leaders that have been interviewed, and they're like, yeah, oh, yeah, we close our borders. Yeah, you know, we're not letting
yeah,
anybody in illegally, and we're okay with that. And we're proud of it. I think Poland is a beautiful country. They got great food. Jennifer would be with me, of course, but you did say I am going alone. So obviously, if I had to restart a family, it would be ideal in Poland. But yeah, I think it would be Poland.
All right, I'm gonna go with you. We can hunt for that all that lost Nazi gold. It's supposed to be in Poland in the mountains.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little tumultuous. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's the whole area is
Yeah.
it's a little iffy, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't speak to any like. There's a lot of countries I would love to be able to go visit and see, but I don't know if I'd want to live there. You know, I think, you know, Spain's one of those countries that I would definitely like to go visit and see and get a
Yeah,
feel for it.
they have their issues too. We've
Oh yeah,
got
they
some
do.
yeah, we got some friends that once Trump was elected, they lived up to their word, and we're leaving, and we got two friends that went to Spain, and it is not all that it's not all it's cracked up to be. You know, it's not a free democratic society. It's nice over there, but man, their fucking taxes are high.
Yeah,
You know, and, yeah,
Greenland. Go to Greenland. It's too cold. That's fucking cold.
Yeah, it's definitely too cold. You know, you got Australia. You got like 7 women for every man.
Now we're going to Australia, man, and pay $80 for a freaking you know, a quorum cigar. I ain't doing that.
Yeah,
shit,
I'm not going anywhere that's part of the crown.
No,
so staying away from
well,
there.
They say Australia was a freaking there was the island where they sent all their criminals.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, so no, I think it'd be Poland. I think you know, thinking things out, I think Poland would be my first choice.
Yeah, Poland or Japan. Japan seems pretty. You know, a lot of island, not a very big island though. You know, so
yeah, maybe Japan. I think I you know, I mean, they've got lots of, you know, Nintendos over there, so I can play lots of video games.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Japan would be good. I'd love to visit Japan, but you know, I don't know what my big hairy ass would be accepted over there. probably like go over there. They probably think at King Kong's there looking for Godzilla, man.
I know. And I don't do chopsticks either. I gotta have a fork.
I love chopsticks. I tell you what, with the food, I think I would blend in perfectly fine, but I'm,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Japan would be a second pick. That's a good recommendation.
That's
Are
it.
we doing our top 10 this week or no?
We got our top 10 this week. Let's go over here to KMA, so let me see where let me go see. Okay, so Tales of the Tape, greatest inventions, pick number 2. That's what we're on. So we had Alex Tavella, the GOAT. He picked the internet, so that was invented in his lifetime. William Cooper was the smartphone, and Abe must not have been on because I don't see a fourth one, so I don't know where Abe was this week. Let's see, the Hot Pocket was Fred. Hot Pocket. Greatest skit of all time was Jim Gaffigan in the Hot Pocket. So, and that's where we are. Number 2, Kerr. Where are you at?
I have the internet. Number 2.
So,
19. It said the internet, obviously the backbone of modern life, commerce, communication, entertainment, blah 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 blah. Yeah, that for me. And number 1 and number 2 kind of go hand in hand, but yeah, that was number 2.
Yeah, mine in 1997, Wi-Fi was developed, though the term Wi-Fi wasn't coined until 1999.
Really?
So, Wi-Fi. I wonder when Blue. Hey, look, Kerr, look up. Since you're got the computer, Bluetooth. I didn't even think about Bluetooth. When was that? Because boy, that's all the Internet of Things, and we got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. So I almost want to do
Wi-Fi. 1999.
97 it was developed.
Yeah, but they're getting the name.
The term was 1999.
Come on, this can't be right. The brains of people are most interesting to look into. Actress. So let's see here if this is really, really true. Hedy Lamarr, they say, is the one.
Did she invent? I know she invented like the torpedo,
GPS, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. She's the brains behind it.
She's the brain. So when did Bluetooth? Yeah.
I'm getting there.
She had a lot of good ideas, and that worked well on paper, even though some things didn't actually happen like in her like she invented like the torpedo. But it was like and like the idea for it, but it she didn't actually have like the the workings and creating one, but it was her her idea.
Yeah, no, she definitely.
So I can see same with wirelessly transporting information like what Tesla was,
But still,
but I want to say Bluetooth was in, because you don't think about Bluetooth until phones came around, so.
Right, but I think it was being used prior to that, right? Widely.
I don't know.
It's definitely is. 1994.
94 was Bluetooth
by the Dutch.
The
Dutch inventor Jaap Horsten, while working for Ericsson in Sweden.
Okay, so cell phone company, yeah.
The original goal was to create a short-range wireless technology that could replace cables between devices, and Bluetooth technology was conceived.
Oh, right. I just found out earlier today because the new Wi-Fi podcast, the Japanese is who invented methamphetamines.
Really?
Yeah, everybody thought it was either the Germans or the Americans, but it was the Japanese.
Fun fact, Kevin, Bluetooth is named after Harald Bluetooth, a Viking king who united parts of Denmark and Norway. The
Get
name
the
was
fuck out of
chosen.
here.
The name was chosen because the technology was intended to unite different devices and communication standards. So when someone asks you when was Bluetooth invented, it's simply answered 1994, and it's named after a Viking king.
Really?
Do you think I could just pull that?
God, yes. I believe you do have the ability.
I do have that ability, but no, that is honest to God. I remember reading that before on how it was named after a Viking king.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole Hedley Lamar, that was she invented the frequency of hopping technologies, helped pave the way for modern wireless technology. Like you said, I mean, she's was a freaking glamour queen of Hollywood, but freaking was incredibly intelligent. Amazing. Every time I see her name, I think of
I know what you're thinking of.
think of Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles, yeah. It was
Hedley.
yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. You just can't help but think Blazing Saddles.
Oh my God, 100%. So 1941, her and George Antheil patent frequency hopping technology. Pretty crazy.
All right, and that was a KMA Tales of the Tape. We've got one more to go, and like you said, yours has the computer aspect of your number one, and same with my number one. So we'll see how they play out. Wonder if we have the same one, and can't wait to see what the guys on KMA have.
Dude, do you want to hear everything that she had her hands in and invented?
Yeah.
Eddie Lamar. So obviously we talked before about the GPS, Bluetooth, blah, 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 wireless. Improved traffic signal concept. So she reportedly proposed the improvements to traffic light timing system to reduce congestion. Carbonated beverage tablet concept. So she discussed the idea of creating a tablet that could dissolve in water to make a soft drink. Aircraft and aerodynamic ideas. During World War II, she reportedly shared various engineering concepts with government officials, including ideas related to the aircraft design. There's no evidence any of it became formal, but you know how the government is with ideas. It's quickly becomes them. And then like you said, she had recognition for the technology, mostly in the torpedoes and the technology, the Electronic Frontier Foundation Pioneer Award. She received that. It's obviously, more than just a brilliant actress and a pretty face.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That is definitely crazy.
Hedley.
Oh my God. Yeah. You definitely got to think of the blazing. Where the white women at?
Daddy love Froggy. What? Froggy love Daddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you can't quote too many of those lines on in a podcast. We can quote them online, when we're together. But yeah.
But just Mel Brooks, such a genius, and just his humor, everything about that movie and all of his movies. Just he's 100 too. Good Lord Almighty.
Yeah, I know.
He's just he's just a brilliant dude, and that movie was way ahead of its time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gene Wilder. My God, the freaking like you said, that movie today just would be like freaking. There'd be protests around the world.
Oh yeah. You couldn't. Yeah, you couldn't make that. You couldn't make it today. No.
Gosh.
Yeah, all we're doing is just reinventing old movies. We saw Apex the other right before Jessica left with Charlize Theron.
Oh, how was that?
It was good. It was It was just good. I mean, I love Charlize Theron. She's been my favorite actress my entire life. So she was pretty good. But and then that other like that, yeah, it was a good story. The other the bad guy was he's a good bad guy. He's kind of weird, but it was just all right.
You know what's great about her? She was in that movie where she played the prostitute that was a killer. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that one.
Gosh, I have to find out what this movie. It's true story. It was a true story about this. I think she actually ended up getting the death penalty. But she played this prostitute that was a serial killer. And Monster is the name of the movie. You got to see. It's a great movie. It really is.
That sounds familiar. Like I think maybe I saw that Monsters.
Yeah, it's Eileen Warnos is in Daytona Beach prostitute who became a serial killer, and she had to gain 30 pounds and go under hours of makeup to make her look like this person who was a little scary, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, she still looks cute. Like you're that beautiful that you have to gain 30 pounds and have hours of makeup put on you to make yourself look kind of not appealing, and you still kind of do.
She's a hottie, and then with that South African accent,
she's a brilliant actress though. I am a big I liked Old Guard. If you ever get a chance to see Old Guard 2 was kind of blah. It was a Netflix movie. But Old Guard is really, really good. It's a really good movie. But I've seen Apex. I have kind of gone back and forth whether I want to see it or not.
It's worth watching.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, she's really she's an exceptional actress. Her and we've been watching Michelle Pfeiffer's been in a lot lately. She was just in that Taylor Sheridan series. God dang it, she's a great actress too. God almighty. Just all the movies that she's done, fantastic. But just watching her recently on some of these series, just blown away by her talent.
Yeah, it's like Chad here says, not allowed to be funny anymore, too worried about feelings, and that's why that's why movies suck now. Like TV shows are better, series are better than movies. I've been disappointed on so many movies. I'd rather watch an 8-hour movie broken up into 8 1-hour segments, because that's what most of these series are now. They're just like Landman. Landman was a 12-hour movie is what it was.
Yeah.
And it was great. All of these series are now just, and then like Netflix and a lot of these, they just don't give a fuck. It's just, you get to say what you want, that little bit of free speech still available on Netflix and some of these streaming platforms.
Tell you some of the movies, like you said, Jen and I will sit down and we'll try and find a good movie, and it's impossible. Every movie just looks like shit.
Jessica and I have given up sometimes. You're 45 minutes in, watching several trailers, and it's just like, fuck it. Let's just
we'll put on Big Bang Theory or freaking I've been rewatching Curb Your Enthusiasm just for the complete absurdity of that show. But I mean it's there's been so many dog movies where we've been watching the series From, which has been really good. We finished Widow's Bay on Apple, which was it was a horror, but it was a comedy. It had some dark humor to it. That was fantastic series. Oh my god, that was great. Taylor Sheridan just seems like he can't make anything bad. I think he has a deal with the devil.
He does. He does. There's you can't. There's nobody that has that many hits. You can't
hit that many home runs and
you can't
out of nowhere.
You can't be a genius like him. He's he either made a deal with the devil or he is the devil. I don't know.
I mean, even the ones like we watched Marshalls and it was like a little cheesy. Tulsa King, a little cheesy, but we've been watching Dutton Ranch is fantastic. Just so many good hits. And Lioness is going to be coming out soon, and that show is awesome. That series is another one that's just like freaking rip roaring raw. We try and look for some of these other series to watch. And these companies, I think these companies are smart, right? So years ago, when everyone was bitching about the freaking, the different Comcast and all these different cable companies have monopoly, and it's not fair. It's not fair. We want to choose. And they said, okay, great, we'll make it a la carte. But what we're going to do is this: instead of paying $180 to Comcast and getting all your shows, and then paying an extra $5 for HBO, now you can you'll get Prime. You get some, we'll throw you a few bones here and there, keep you locked into freaking ordering from Amazon so you can get some points and everything. And then we're going to say, okay, you can rent, MGM. You can rent freaking Paramount. You can rent freaking Apple. You can, and every one of those companies has an excellent show.
Yeah.
Some have multiple great shows, but you can at least find one excellent show that everyone talks about. It gets great reviews, and you're like, son of a bitch. I don't want MGM, but that's not where to get from. I didn't want Paramount, but guess what? Every Taylor Sheridan thing's got to be on Paramount. What about Peacock? Well, you got to get this on Peacock, and now your freaking bill is just as expensive, if not more. And then it's like, oh, by the way, now we have Sling. So now you can get cable for only $59 or $89. And then you're like, well, shit, after I freaking buy Sling or I get freaking YouTube TV and I get all these different channels I'm paying for, and I'm freaking still paying X money for freaking movies I want to watch. You're now that whole monopoly thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They lured you right into their trap.
And they wisened up as because some people will order just for they'll binge a whole season, and then in a day or two, and then they cancel their service for that month. Now they're breaking it up. Like we watched, I think the first one we noticed that was the series Wednesday, which we absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
They came out with half the series, and it's like, all right, we're on a break. The other half will come out in 30 days. Like, oh, you're gonna get 2 months out of people. You geniuses, But I don't watch a lot of. Jessica binges a whole bunch of stuff. There's so many shows she wants me to watch, but I'm not a binger. I don't. There's been a couple times there's some stuff I'm like, oh, like Landman, like we would binge that. Yeah. But she'll watch 8-10 episodes of something in 2 days. Yeah. And I'll be like, I'll watch like one episode. I'm like, all right, I'm good. We will come back in another couple days and watch another one. Jessica's like, what? Wait, what now?
Yeah, I'm good. If it's good and it hooks me, man, I will binge. It's like crack. Yeah. I'm bad with that. So is Jennifer. It's like there's times she'll be like, I'm gonna go to bed. I can't stay up. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna watch this and I'll watch it again with you tomorrow. There's one more episode. I did that with Man in the High Castle. I tried to watch that show so many times and I finally got into it. And then I finally got to the end and I'm like, you know what? I'm just pushing through. I'm going to watch these last 4 episodes. I'm going to stay up till 2 a.m. And then when I'm done, I'm done. I don't want to have to turn this fucking show on again tomorrow night. I like my routine of going to bed, putting on something, and then putting on either Curb Your Enthusiasm or Seinfeld and falling asleep to Seinfeld, especially on Netflix, because after a couple of episodes, it'll say, do you want to continue? If you don't say yes, it just turns off. So now, you go to bed and then you wake up at like 3 a.m. and it's dark. It's not like HBO. We're watching Big Bang Theory. I'll wake up at like 3 a.m. and I'm freaking, missed how many episodes. So
it's for me. I only get 40 maybe 45 minutes of TV a night is all I get. So if it's an hour long show, it takes me 2 nights to watch it. Because I'll get 30-40 minutes into the show, and then I'll set my sleep timer and then turn on something else to go to sleep with. Usually it's Ancient Aliens. 99% of the time I go to sleep to Ancient Aliens. So I've got about 100 recordings. So and then the next night I'll watch the remainder of that show I started the night before, and it's just been that way for a few months after work. And usually before I'd get a couple hours a night, 2 hours a night of TV. Now 40-45 minutes, especially with the new bed. So first thing I do is I get up and I put my feet up. I raise my feet up, then I turn on the foot vibrator and my back vibrator, and so now my feet are at the perfect angle. The bed's vibrating me ever so slightly, and it's just like, oh, this is life right here. And I tell you, my shoulder has never felt better.
Oh, those beds they're great.
It still hurts, but my back, I don't wake up in the morning with a bad, like stiff back anymore. I get hurts during the day, but I just get just something about getting an hour of an entire vibrating bed and as you go to sleep. There's just I don't even know how we did it before. How we slept like the poors is what we call it. How we slept like the poor people before.
It's tough, man. I'll tell you. I told you we went through our trials and tribulations of the sleep number bed. Jen didn't like it because of the noises it made and everything. And then we got, I always remember the old commercials, like Craftmatic automatic adjustable bed, and we got that, and it's it's hard to sleep on a flat surface anymore. That's why when we go to hotels, I know. See, now it's going to be different for you. When you start going to a hotel, you're not going to think Jennifer and I are so fucking stupid and crazy like we were. We walk in, we're like, I don't know, what's the bed like? Is it this? Is that? It's like even some of the most comfortable flat beds that I've slept on now, I still wake up and I'm like, God dang, you don't feel right because we have the perfect setting. Jennifer's back's bad, she needs it. My knees, God, whatever. Like you said, I'm kind of falling apart here, getting old, but just no other night's sleep like it. After you,
I told Jessica I'm gonna have to look for some kind of little motor that you can put between the mattresses of a hotel, so we can take our vibrating bed with us. I don't know how well that will work. Somebody's got to make something like that. Slide in between some sheets to, I'm sure there are still the beds out there. You got to put the quarter in, turn the dial, and you have
those are shaped funny. Yeah, we didn't get the vibrating part. We actually considered you get the cooling, the heating, you can get all those different features on a bed. We didn't go for any of those bells and whistles. We just went for head, and we almost didn't go for the legs, I think, or something like that. We ended up going for the full feature of it and then the extra thick mattress. And I can't. I mean, I've slept in some really nice hotels and some really nice beds and still wake up the next morning feeling like crap.
Yeah, we went with a nice and the good thing about having our bed made here locally, it's got a 15-year warranty on the bed, and for 15 years they will come out and readjust the bed. Like I said, we've got kind of it's not a firm, it's kind of a medium, but it's like if you guys feel like you need it more firm, just call us out. We'll come out and we'll since we build the beds, we'll adjust it. We'll make it more firm for you. Do whatever, literally disassemble the bed on site. And then he goes, if you in 6 months later and you want it softer, we'll come back out. And he goes, there's no limit on how many times in the next 15 years that we'll come out and we'll readjust this bed.
That's awesome.
And make it, however you want. So,
that's awesome. Hey, did you see that? Did you see that Trump created a UFO advisory board panel? Who's it's going to be headed by Avi Loeb.
Really, Avi?
Yeah.
Oh, so some people are saying he's they told him a little too much, so he's got to keep quiet.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It's and the people are just. and they're saying that in order for all, for people really to find out, is he needs a blanket pardon for the NDAs. There are like two high level people. Well, the one guy was in a age of disclosure, that little short guy.
Yeah.
And he had said, he goes, just release my NDA.
Yeah.
Release it. Make it to where I'm not going to go to prison. I'll tell you everything you want to know.
Yeah.
It's and then that's what we need. We need, just like Trump saying, like, hey, either a blanket pardon ahead of time, or one of those things, set up something with the Justice Department. Any whistleblower that has an NDA that comes out, you let me know, and that pardon will be issued that day.
Yeah, they're called the Cosmic Council.
Is that what they're calling it? That's so awesome.
The UAP Science Advisory Council. And what's funny is everybody thought he was batshit crazy when he created Space Force, and I still think there's another reason why that was created.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I just I'm wondering in our lifetime if we're gonna actually get to see if there are aliens, are they interdimensional beings, or are we just living in a matrix?
Yeah, you had Obama caught on a hot mic with the I think it's the ambassador to Russia, and Obama says he said, you got to tell Putin he's got to give me space. And some people, took that as, hey, I need space, like breathing space.
Yeah.
But then like other people will be like, he wants space, like outer space. That's ours. He's got to give me space so we can control of what's going on.
I don't know, man. They keep releasing.
Oh, Hayes Gray. I'm sorry. I forgot to. I'm going to post your press release that you sent me. I really, really apologize about that. Hayes Gray Cigars. I'm going to make a note in my phone right now. I get hundreds of emails a day, and we should have those guys on, Kerr. Hayes Gray Cigars. Didn't you tell me about them? Yeah.
Great cigars. I've got them through my Wolfpack. Cigar club, and they have they have a number of really good it's fantastic cigars. Let me see here. They had the Brothers of the Sea was their new release that we had back in January.
Kevin Perro still fucking we're still doing a podcast.
What?
Kevin Perro's trying to call me. He was on the show. He knows we're doing a podcast. So yes, we've got to maybe we'll get we got to do another I Tap That Cigar show. So I really don't know. I got to read that press release on Hayes Gray, and maybe we'll get I don't know, guys. There are more than one of you. We'll get him on the show.
I got to talk to you about another guest too. Potential guest, of course.
So I made a note in my phone. I'll go through that email because I didn't even open up the email. There's so many, God, it's just so inundated with, people also like, hey, did you see that thing I tagged you in? I get tagged so many times. Then I get, Instagram, people especially send me an Instagram message. I go, you need to email me. You got to email me. At least I can flag the email. I go, I don't answer this Instagram message right away. It's gone. I
will tell everybody right now, I've known Kevin for years. The best way to get a hold of him and his most favorite form of communication is to call him.
Oh, yeah.
On the phone. Just chit chat. He loves to chit chat.
Kevin, hey, you see that thing I tagged you in? No, I did not. Just call me. It was someone, I don't know who it was, earlier this week. Or then last week, it's all runs together, sent me a text message, and then I responded with like, okay. And then like they called, and I'm in the shop. I go, what the fuck? That was not permission to call me. So we were texting. We were doing just good. Cause there is no phone call. Well, there is, I like to, like Kevin, I'll talk to Kevin and, like Evan Darnell and, Abe, like, yeah, just call, we haven't talked in a while, get caught up, but 97% of everyone else that wants to call me just shoot me a text message. You know, I don't like talking on the phone.
I could probably count on one hand how many times you and I have spoken on the phone, and probably have a couple of fingers left over.
Yeah, I don't like talking on the phone. Don't like it.
I mean, we talk here. We, you know, every once in a while, you know, we would do like our group FaceTime, you know, bullies.
Yeah.
But this is the time we talk. Other than that, it's usually through chat. But I think I remember the first time I spoke to you, I was in Colombia.
Yeah.
I just purchased a hit and run. And I think after that, I honestly can't remember the next time I talked to you on the phone.
I don't know. You know, Jessica will call me at work, and first thing I go, you got 2 minutes or you got 5 minutes, you know, and then, or sometimes she'll call him like, you know, she's like, you busy? I'm like, no, I'm good. You know, just, you know, I got time to talk, but most of the time if you call me during the day, I'll let you know, you go, you got like Ryan, Rocky Mountain, you know, called me last week. I go, you got 2 minutes. He told me what he needed to tell me. And then I got back to work, and then that was it.
You know, what's fucked up too is my phone, for some reason, my iPhone, when it purges numbers and names, and I don't know why. And I remember Jennifer, this is like maybe last year. She said something. She's like, well, I'm going to text. Well, can you text Kevin? I was like, yeah, I don't have Kevin's phone number. She's like, what? I go, I don't have Kevin's phone number. And so it had been that long since I had called you that I didn't have your phone number. She had to give me your phone number because I didn't have it. She's like, how do you not have Kevin's phone number? I said, we don't talk on the phone. We talk once a week on the show. We talk for 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. That's probably enough for the week. And then our messaging in between, you know, that's satisfactory.
Yeah, that's it. Jessica says that, oh, you and Kerr, you probably talk shit about us all the time. I go, no, we don't talk. No, we don't text each other every day. Yeah, no. we don't talk. Hey, you guys got the Saints and Sinners Club, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, so, we were that was the other thing too. You saw the picture, right?
Yeah.
So before you ask your question, Jennifer and I were like, let's go to Boda's. I'm like, all right. Get in the car, we drive over. It's a 20-minute drive. We're sitting there shooting the shit. We get there, we walk through the humidor, grab some cigars. We sit at the bar. I order my beer. She orders her ginger ale. We're sitting there talking. The guy walks up and he goes, I go, I want to take a picture of my Saints and Sinners shirt. She goes, yeah, me too. And I'm thinking, okay, she wants to take a picture with me because I got my Saints and Sinners shirt. He takes a picture. He goes, oh, isn't that cute? We both had Saints and Sinners shirts on. I didn't even know it. An hour had gone by. I didn't even have any idea that she was wearing.
How'd you guys get 2 shirts?
You know, we're special.
That's good. What's in this this year's club?
You're gonna have to ask Jennifer. She's the one who freaking got everything for a Father's Day gift. Yeah, I know nothing. I know nothing about it, Kevin. And I'm not being a dick.
Wait a minute. So you haven't got the cigars?
No.
Oh, so okay. Yeah, so I was wondering because when I saw the shirt, I'm like, how'd you guys get 2 shirts?
That's all we got so far. I mean, Jennifer's got, if she bought a subscription, we're supposed to get cigars, and Jennifer get on it. But I knew nothing about it.
Okay, so if she got the subscription, she must have been
went to
the website.
No, I think she got from Jessica.
No, to get the shirts.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Because once you become a member,
you can order that shit.
Yeah, that must have been it.
Is it members only get that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I honestly, Jen just was like, hey, we're part of the Saints and Sinners Club. There's an opening or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I remember Kevin talking about this from time to time with me, and I was like, yeah, maybe. She's like, yeah, it's going to be an early Father's Day gift. I was like, okay, cool. And then she's like, here, I got his T-shirts. I was like, oh. I thought maybe it's part of the deal. I don't know this stuff. I just live here.
Okay. So she must have went to like the site and then got some shirts or something.
Yeah,
so,
I didn't know.
But yeah, because I thought she got like the plaque. I'm like, man, I didn't think they started shipping yet. But I'll tell you that that box I found, and Jessica still doesn't know I took that box out of her humidor from last year. Those little 4x56s or 4x52s or whatnot that were like fucking crack.
Yeah, you were saying how good they were. I mean,
yeah, the club is just a fantastic club. You get more than you get double your money.
Yeah, I remember you talking really highly about it, saying about how great it was, et cetera, et cetera. And I honestly, I just was like, I have like no idea. And Jennifer's, said that she bought into it. I was like, oh, I said, Kevin always talked about how great it was. She's like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. This is gonna be great. No idea about any of the other shit. I got a t-shirt, but yeah, we both fucking wore that t-shirt over. And I know you're like, yo, I love when Jessica and I are twinning. I'm like, I don't. I'm not a twinner.
Yeah.
No.
So the good thing is next year that she gets to invite somebody, so she can invite you, and you guys can get double. Wow. That's what I did. That's what I did my first year. I invited Jessica, and then I just buy two. I buy 2 memberships now.
That's what it was. It was invite. So I no freaking clue. I just said, okay, great. I just freaking live here,
Yeah, exactly. That last year was a good year. We got hoodies last year, and they were like really nice fucking. Of course, Jessica took my hoodies. Now she has 2 hoodies. But these are like $60-$70 hoodies.
Yeah,
I mean, they were beyond nice.
I remember you talking about the benefits of it and how great it is. And listen, man, he makes great cigars, dude. He just does. I mean, they're fantastic cigars. But yeah, it's I'll be waiting for whatever comes next of the Saint and Sinners Club.
Yeah.
Whatever I don't know.
You just get a bunch of cigars.
Can't wait.
And I think they're all Saints and Sinners exclusives.
Really?
So yeah, you can't get them anywhere else. So as far as I know, they're just the S&S exclusive cigars. So they're always super good.
Yeah, we were twinning on Saturday. So I came home and took my shirt off immediately.
Yeah,
can't have that. No, Jen looks good. I was like, you look good. You keep. I'm not gonna do it. I'm good.
Yeah,
I don't want to be twinning. But yeah, we spent some time down at Bow to check out those guys, and then like I said, we the wine and bourbon barn. I think they're looking to expand and open a lounge.
Oh, right on. You said, and they're the ones getting Sinistro in.
They're bringing in Sinistro. Yeah, I talked to James for like an hour the other day. Yeah, we had a nice conversation. He's such a good dude. And I was emailing Coleman, and they're bringing in several facings of Sinistro. So I'm really excited about that. And then they're going to start doing Monday night events, cut and light events. And I was talking to James. I'm like, hey, man, if you guys are okay, I'll go down there and kind of host it and hang out. And because I got a chance to know those guys down at the Wine and Bourbon Barn. They're good folks. They tore down an Ace Hardware. They built up this liquor. I call it a liquor store, is like almost an insult to what this looks like. And then next to it is where they have their wine and beer. They have this beautiful freaking wine rack, and they have a huge humidor, man. And they got a bar with that serves beer and wine. And then they were having issues with the folks who own the lot next to them, so they just decided to build a deck. And they are committed to having people come to their location and drink beer, drink wine, and smoke cigars. They are investing a lot of money. They have like 4 locations around this area, and I think 3 of the 4 carry cigars. So I told them, I said, you need to start working on a house blend. You're going to have every single one of your locations will have your house blend, make it a good house blend. So, but I don't think they want to pull the trigger until they get this lounge open. But very committed to it. And every time you go in there, they're always having some taste tester, some wine, some booze, some beer, and I think you can also rent their space out on Sundays for parties.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, Yeah, because I didn't
Yeah,
know because we pulled in. I'm like, are they open on Sunday? Like, what the shit? So I saw cars there, and I pulled up, and it said closed for special event. But yeah, they it's and again they have a nice outdoor area that seats quite a few. They have high top tables. They have couches. Um, it's definitely going to be a great place. As you know, when you're in the South, it's a great spring and fall, winter location. Summer, it's like I'm going to sit out there
oh
and
yeah,
boil like a motherfucker. Yeah. But they are going to be hopping when the cooler weather comes through. We went there for the grand opening, and Joe and I sat outside and smoked a cigar, and it was really nice. They got a food truck. They got their own food truck. They're
oh,
really
they
committed to
got
it.
their own. Oh,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
kind of food do they got?
Wings, burgers, fries. I mean,
Oh, right
again,
on.
their wings are freaking fantastic, man. So yeah, it was. I mean, like I said, I'm impressed with how which they didn't. There's nothing about this place that looks like it's done half-ass.
Yeah,
Everything's clean. Everything's neat. Their inventory of booze, the bourbon, the scotches, the tequila is ungodly. Their beer and wine selection over on the other side is fantastic. Their bar area is big. They got TVs. They'll have live entertainment come in on Mondays. So I'm looking forward to see what they do on Mondays.
yeah, be super cool.
Yeah, I hope they can
Definitely have to go up there. Yeah,
get a lounge, built there too. I mean, I know they're
yeah,
working on it, and I'll tell you, they do that. They're going to be and they start like serving food and can start serving liquor.
yeah,
Dude, that's gonna be a freaking destination location because they do have a good facing of your standard, your like, I don't like calling them usual suspects, but your, um, what's a good way to describe it? Your, not normal cigars, but your traditional brands.
yeah.
They have, Fuentes, they got Padron they got a whole wall of Padrones. They got Rocky Patel, they got AJ, they got Camacho. They could probably expand out their Camacho collection some. They got
Yeah,
a
especially
whole line of Avos.
yeah, especially if they're going to be serving alcohol because I don't go out to any of the local lounges here because they don't serve alcohol. It's like, I just want a cocktail with my cigar, so, there's some in
Tough
Sarasota,
one, man.
it's a 45-minute drive, to, to some nice lounges in Sarasota, and, or Punta Gorda, the opposite way. Sometimes
Mhm.
I'll drive the 50 minutes to Corona in Sarasota or the hour to Corona in Tampa. So I want
Yeah,
to drink. I want to have a couple of
yeah.
drinks. I don't want beer and wine. So I'd rather, say, fuck it. I'll drive double the distance just to be able to have a cocktail with some friends or Jessica and,
Hopefully they could do that. What's nice is the Noble Leaf, which is literally a quarter mile away, they started serving food, so now they actually have a liquor license, so they can start serving liquor and booze. So Jennifer and I will go in there. Adam's a super nice guy. His humidor too, he's expanding. I mean, he's been really bringing in some good stuff, and getting out, some of the stuff that's not selling, but some of the stuff that I think he bought into the whole line of Christoph and the Marlon Wayne cigars, that just didn't move. Some of the Christophs did,
yeah.
and this Christophs that do move, I smoked, I liked, and I've always been a Christoph fan. I know you have not been a smoker of Christoph. I always liked Christoph, but some of the blends that they've been putting out, I have not been in my palate profile. But the Waynes, I wouldn't even try them. They're just so fucking expensive, and I can't see
Yeah. It's
spending
not
that
worth
much
it.
money for a cigar that I don't know. And I could because I'll grab a freaking Viva La Vida, for
Yeah.
$15. I'll buy a Saka, I'll get an AJ or something like that. I'll buy something like that I know is going to be good.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to go out to that. There's a cigar shop out in Texas that there's like an Applebee's or a Chili's or an Outback, something like that, closed, and a cigar lounge went in, and they're like, and it's like it's still like an Applebee's, like they have all the booths, so and they serve food and alcohol, and it's a cigar lounge, and I'm like, well, that's just to go in there for a burger or a steak. you know, and be,
you know what? See, do you remember a couple of years ago when the Applebee's down the road from us that was right off the highway?
Yeah.
I was like, this would be perfect. Get Abe to open a smoke in up here. You don't have to just keep the Applebee's the way it is. People sit at the bar, like the old style bar. You can eat, you can smoke, you have freaking tables. I'm like, this would be perfect for a fucking cigar lounge.
I tell you, if there's one of those around here, at least twice a week. I'd be, you know, I try and go up to the Buffalo Wings and Rings, you know, up the road because out on the back patio, you know, it's all covered, you know, and everything else. And, you know, they got the fans. So even in the summertime, it's actually nice out there, but we get to eat our food. We get to drink our drinks. We get to smoke cigars, you know, and, you know, would I rather be inside in the air conditioning in a nice comfy booth or table? Yes, I would.
It'd be like the old days of having, you know, everything was smoking. There wasn't a non-smoking section. You know, you walk in, they could knock down a freaking area booth and put a fucking humidor in there. But you keep the bar, you keep the grill going. That's where your food's being served. It's already freaking ready to go. It's already, you don't have to get too complicated and have complicated Applebee's menu. You can keep it real simple, but you still would have the bar there. It would be great. I'd like you said, if they closed down, they actually ended up tearing it down and they built an Outback there. But if there's a place like that,
game on,
man. 100%. You kidding me? Please.
That's it.
That'd be awesome.
All right. Well,
2 hours, man.
That's it. I know. I want to thank everybody for coming on, spending a couple hours of your Monday night with us. So hopefully we'll be back next Monday night. I won't be dead from exhaustion. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah. So all right, everybody. We'll see you